Hi everyone, my name is Robert and this is Kingdom Architecture. I have two topics for today, PBR textures and IFC roofs in particular. Creating IFC materials and PBR textures are much easier than you think, but you can mess this up, so I'm going to show you how to do it properly. The first step is to lay down the foundation and explain to you what does it mean, the PBR texturing. I already downloaded from Polyhaven roof texture maps, basically. We have here 5 maps. Let's see what does the names mean and how we can incorporate into our IFC roof. So the first is albedo or base color. So this is the main step we have to do to apply basically the coloring. This is the first step. After, we have the normal map, this from white to purple coloring. We can zoom in and you can see the imperfections in the texture. So this normal map used to fake basically the imperfections and the height inside our texture. We have the roughness map, grayscale map, so you can't see anything here, just the outline of this roof tile basically. So the roughness can make the texture shiny or very rough, so you can feel how the texture is rough and hard the surface. The other one is the height or displacement map. This is grayscale as well. So the other one is the height or displacement map. This is a grayscale as well, and it can help you to make the surface more realistic and visible, working with the subdivision tool. The other one is the ambient occlusion. It helps you to create in the crevices of the model to make like we have some sort of dust building up next to the edges and in the small holes as well. And now we have to go back to Blender. I have already prepared 2 planes, and here we have the IFC roof we created in our previous video. So the first plane, called clay roof tiles, we have to make this texture manually. The other one, the second, is slate roof. We are going to make it a faster way using a very interesting add-on built in Blender. And after that, I'm going to show you how to apply materials to our IFC roof. But we have this gray background now, so to make much more realistic, we have to apply some sort of background to it. So our setup in Blender, let's run through really quickly. We have the outliner on the left side, we have the 3D view in the middle, we have the scene with the IFC features, and at the bottom we have the shader editor we are going to use today. So in order to create some sort of background with the HDRI texture. In order to create background, we have to switch it to the word. I'm going to zoom in. So now we have the gray background plugged into the surface. I'm going to change this one into an environment texture. So let's just delete it. After, press Shift A, search for environment texture, plug the color into the surface, output, and we have to open our HDRI, which is this one. And let's go to the render view. We have the cycles render set up, but we can check as well. Let's go to layout, and in the layout, this is the render section. Change it to cycles, go back to the render view, and this is how it looks like. But obviously, for the viewport, we have to change, for example, to 16 to make it easier for our CPU and GPU performance. Let's go back to the beam section, and we are ready for applying those textures and materials. So let's just show you from where I downloaded those textures. So this is Polyhaven. Obviously now we are using the roof tab, and you can choose from a lot of free materials. When you download one material, for example this one, you can choose from the resolution from 1K to 16K. And when you download it, of course, it's going to be a zipped file. I'm going to show you now how it looks like. And inside the folder, I already downloaded some textures. we have those maps ready to use. So thank you for Polyhaven to provide us these really nice free textures. Okay, and now we have this first plane. We are going to make a clay roof tile texture here. Let's go back to the object mode into our shader, and we have to create a new material. Let's name it clay roof. As simple as that. Now we have the principal BSDF and our material output. So in order to bring those material maps, we have to use Shift A, search for image texture. It's here. Let's bring in, we need the base color, we need roughness, we need normal map, duplicate, Shift D, duplicate again, and bring those textures in. Open, this is the map, the texture map we need. Diffuse, albedo, or base color. So the diffuse is the other name. Going to the base color, let's go to the preview. And you can see now we have the color, but it's not enough. We need textures to make it much more realistic. So the roughness is here. So if you don't want to use a roughness map, I can show you how it looks like when we change those values. Roughness here. So if we bring down the roughness, it means it's going to be shiny. And when we bring it up, it's going to be very rough and hard surface. The second, the roughness map, plug it into the roughness. We have two. The third, it's going to be normal map, plug it into the normal, but you can see something very interesting here. From yellow goes to purple, so this is not good for us. So we need another node between this spaghetti line. Let's bring in Shift A, normal map. We need now normal map. This is what we need. And after, if you want, you can change the values, but for now, for our purpose in this tutorial, it's going to be enough. So we have these three, but we need another one. I'm going to show you an easier method to bring in those textures. We can drag and drop. So there's two ways. One, with Shift A, you can bring in the image texture and after open from your folder. Another one is drag and drop inside. Just organize a little bit our shader editor. Let's do it like this, like this. We have the displacement map over here. In this map, we have to plug the color into the displacement, but we have the same problem. In order to solve that, let's just bring in the displacement node, put it right here, bring it down, and the normal should be going into the height value because this is grayscale, so we need the height values over here. So the displacement map has to create some sort of extra polygons in our surface, but now we have just one single surface. So in order to do that, we need to go back to our layout. After here to the materials, into the settings, we have now just the bump. So we need to use displacement only. Really good. Material beam section. So we have the displacement only set up, but we have just one single plane. In order to do that, in order to make place for this tool, we have to subdivide this surface. So you need to press Tab in order to let inside the edit view, and after right click and make a subdivision. Subdivide, for example, number of cut. So let's make it 100. Subdivision is going to be 100. Go back to the object mode. The scale should be, let's make it 10. Oh, this is too much, so let's use 0.1. 0.1 is going to be too much, so let's go with 0.06. So now we have our base color, the roughness value. We have the normal map plugged into the normal value of the principled BSDF, and the fourth texture is the displacement going into the displacement node and making the subdivision in order to make it much more realistic. But in real life, of course, the weather and the other conditions makes it dirtier. So in the holes, in the crevices, in the cavities, dirt can build up. So for this one, we are going to use an ambient occlusion setup. So in order to make the ambient occlusion, so right now we don't need that texture map we downloaded for the ambient occlusion. We are going to make it another way. Let's just search for, we need this one. We need a mix shader because we are going to mixing with the base color. We need the mix shader. We are going to need a color ramp node just to separate here. Bring it like this, plug it into the surface, and after this one color goes into the factor, and the ambient occlusion, it's going to be into the factor. So right now it's not good enough for us. So let's just zoom in, and this one, bring it right over here until it overlaps and creates right here, and change this one so you can see now like the dirt is building up. I think this is good for us. So this texture map is applied to this surface. Really nice. Let's go to the render view, and this is how it looks like. Okay, so we have another method we are applying to the second plane, which is the slate roof. So before we do that in a fast and simple way, I have to show you one add-on we need to check if it's ready to use. So you have to go to Edit Preferences, and now we have to search for Node Wrangler. So this add-on, it's built inside Blender, so you don't need to download or anything like that. So if it's available for us, if it's ticked, it's ready to use. So this add-on allows you to bring in all those texture maps all together and create fast setup. So in order to do that, create a new material. It's going to be slate roof. You have to select the principal BSDF, and after press Ctrl-Shift-T from our desktop, select these 4 textures and add to the principal BSDF. And you can see now the setup is done automatically for us. Obviously, I showed you the manual methods to understand the process. Now we have to focus on the IFC roof, and we have to apply textures and materials to this object. So the first step is to check here the IFC object mode and the IFC item mode. When we switch to IFC item mode, we are going to have this IFC polygonal face set. So if we press the tab key, it's going to change from the IFC object mode to the IFC item mode. And on the IFC item mode, we have extra data, which is showed in the outliner as well. When we switch off the polygonal face set, the IFC roof as well disappears. So these two basically is working together. Focus on the scene and on the material properties right now, and we have to add materials to this list. So press this one, and it's going to be terracotta tile, our first material. We have to wait a little bit in order to pop up. Yes, so we have now one material. If we want, we can make another one, but now it's fine. We have to apply this material to the roof. You can see now this number here, 1, so it means we have one object here. And also let's assign the material. We have to add a surface style from the list we don't have now, so we have to add the style name terracotta style. Save the new style, and we have these 6 panels here. The shading panel, of course, here we have the shading. We have to save the shading style. After, go to rendering style. We don't have to make changes here, just save. We have to assign those changes, and now we have here in the shader editor the principal BSDF and the material output. And after, we have to add some textures as well. The diffuse, it means the base color, so base color right here. Save these texture styles. Of course, we need to adjust the texture size and the location as well. I mean, we have to change the texture position. We need to rotate them in order to have the right place in the right position. We are going to use a trick to basically split this roof. We have the main big roof and we have this small side one, so we split it in 2 parts. But before we can adjust these textures, we have to add a mapping node between the texture coordinate and the image texture. So we need to press Shift A and search for mapping node and place it right here. And after that, we can make those changes. So the scale, change it to 2, this one 2 as well. The Z value, let's leave it to 1. But the rotation, yeah, this is the most important, because in real life, of course, this one should be rotated because it's not aligned with the roof properly. So let's rotate 20 degrees, this one as well. And now you can see, and of course, we need to separate these parts, because even though if we make just a simple plane and we don't turn into an IFC object, it's easier to unwrap the object. IFC works completely differently, so we need to separate those parts. The edit mode of the IFC object. So we are going to edit this polygonal face set. Press tab again, and yeah, we have the face selection mode. We need to select those faces, and after right click and separate the selection. This one is separated from the main roof. In order to do that, we need to make with the same material, but another one, apply to these two sides, but in a different rotation, in order to have the right texture mapping. So right now we need another material, but with the different rotation in the texture. So we are in the IFC object mode, and we switch to the layout, and here in the material properties, we have the one material. We need to add another one, add a new material slot, a new material, and we need to copy from this one because we are using the same set, this free paste. So we have copied over here, and we have to connect this one to the base color, name it terracotta side style, for example, because this is going to be the side part. Basically two materials with the same setup. Okay, so right now go back to the beam section over here. Sometimes this error can pop up. You just need to switch it off. It doesn't matter right now. We need to apply this one, the terracotta side style. We need to make those changes to this texture to rotate them. Otherwise, it's not going to be realistic. So we need to play around with the same mapping node. This one is going to be 0, this one 0 as well, and this one we have to rotate 180. The method was to create a material here in the IFC object scene with the material and the style and these three slots, the shading, the rendering, and the texture. And after we have this main material for the main roof section, we split this one into two parts, the main and the side one, and we used the same material but with a different rotation to the side part. And if we bring this one down and rotate a little bit and switch it to the render mode, you can see the HDR image in the background and our roof. This is just a presentation of how to add those materials to this IFC object. It's going to be, of course, a different one when we try just a simple plane with the subdivision, but this is just an overview how to work with the IFC materials. So thank you so much for your attention. Bye bye.